The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
You have to be strong in today's world. Keep your focus and what you believe in, how to achieve all your dreams. Keep moving forward, never accept less than who you are. Live your best life. Be strong and free. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to the Hit Back. I'm your host, Nahaja Black. It is a beautiful day here in the 242. I hope that you are doing well, taking care of yourself. Good afternoon from the Turks and Caicos. Hello. Hey, everybody, Marie, Esther, Takara, Bajaro. That's a fancy name. To everyone who is listening in your cars, in your office, at home, on Cable 969, who are listening on Facebook and YouTube. Happy Tuesday. Okay. Boy, I tell you, I would say for Little Island Nation, right? We got a lot of news, y'all. A lot of news. Telling you. So I was feeling like a really low news day today. Hello from Tampa. Sabrina all the way in Tampa. I gotta love all of our listeners from across the world. Got a shout out to you and everyone who takes the time out to listen. I have so many jokes for you, but today ain't that day. It's Tuesday. I'm supposed to be serious today. I'm supposed to be, but the news just never relents, right? And I got to say, thank you to every person in politics who ensures that the show keeps going, because the politics in this country keeps going. And we have a lot of other news to discuss too. I have some issues with policing, right? Y'all know my issues with policing. We have an issue with excessive use of force in this country. And it continues to rear its ugly head, right? So that's one. Secondly, we have this Game of Thrones thing going. Hello, hey, shout out to everybody in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Long Island, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklands, San Sal. Shout out to everyone across all of the Commonwealth. I love you guys to death. Okay, so now we have this thing of Game of Thrones, right? This Game of Thrones thing happening with the Free National Movement, and we're going to get into that because there was another announcement today. Someone else has put their hat in the ring for leadership of the Free National Movement. But we're also going to talk about something that's very important to me as well. We are going to have to, trust me, I'm telling you as someone who believes this myself, I won't tell you or preach to you something I don't practice. We have to be independent of our job. We have to look at the wealthy mindset. I tell you this because I believe it. I want us all to be successful, right? And Nat coming on, Tampa in the house. All right, Tampa Bay. So I want us to be mentally in the space for wealth. I don't believe that money is going to lay up on the beach for you. I believe that your mind is in the working of creative wealth. That there's no such thing as lack. There's no such thing as not enough. That is a limiting mindset, because I assure you that there are people, there is avenues for you to get and garner wealth. And we have to get to that place. I'm never limited by not being employed. I've never had that mindset. My mindset is that everything I need, I put in between my head and then I get it done. All right, so we got a show for you today. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Nathaniel Butler and Kayleen Newton from Grand Bahama will be joining us to talk about this wealthy mindset. That's later in the show. But I want to jump on, right? And I want my producer, because I don't know if y'all realized today. I don't know if y'all realized today what the news was. I want my producer to play this bit of music in the background for me. Arlie, if you got it, because this for me now, y'all, is where I'm at. I am thinking that there's a new name added to the leadership of the Free National Movement that's vying for the leadership of the Free National Movement. I like this. Why do I like this? I like all activity when it comes to democracy. I think that, listen, add 50 and 20 names, but I hear the party ain't into all of that. But add all the names you want to add, because this is a free democracy and the party is in a transition, right? But I know that the party doesn't want confusion. So all of a sudden my name, my phone started to blow up, right? It started to just go crazy, because now there is indeed something new happening, something different happening. Arlie, you ready? You got the music queued up? Because I call this the Game of Thrones. This is the Game of Thrones, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a statement by Kwesi Thompson, Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama. Y'all ready? Because I read one from Iram Lewis last week. Ollie, better music? Cue the music, Ollie. All right, I wait for Ollie. Let's go. How it's titled: A New Direction and Vision for the Free National Movement. Say, Nahaja, throw your hat in the ring. The FNM must rebuild and renew our party. The election of a new leader on November 27th is only a beginning. We must respond to the needs and aspirations of the people as we rebuild and restore the FNM root and branch. We have had many successes in government. At our 50th anniversary, there is much to celebrate about our legacy, but at times we have fallen short. At times we could have paid more attention to public sentiment. Our mission is to return to government to build on our accomplishments. We must do so with greater humility, compassion, and openness. Governments and political parties must inspire, especially in difficult times. We must once again inspire the Bahamas with a vision and with ideas. We must provide genuine hope for the future. Our primary mission is not solely about returning to office. Our broader mission is one of service and of building a better future for all. Our focus must be on who we serve and how we serve, inspired by the values of freedom and opportunity. More than 20 years ago, I joined the Free National Movement Torchbearers Youth Association and first read Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield's convention speech, "My soul is dancing." My God, I'm touched already. I'm touched. It is this speech and the principles articulated therein that first inspired me and clarified for me that the FNM was the best political party for the Bahamas. I am even more convinced of this 2 decades later. How do we move forward? Fostering unity. The FNM was unified behind a common... Wait, hold on, man. I just realized. It's 4 pages. Let's cut to the chase. We must develop a comprehensive strategy and structure and invest in communication professionals. We must utilize a broad variety of communication platforms, including social media. I practiced as an attorney for 23 years. I served as a head deacon at Calvary Temple Assemblies of God, which I have attended for over 40 years. I am blessed to have been married to Tamika Thompson for 21 years with 4 beautiful daughters. I have had the opportunity to serve the FNM as the president of the Torchbearers, as a member of parliament, as deputy speaker of the House of Assembly, and as senator and cabinet minister. It was an honor to serve with Dr. Hubert Minnis. I honor this great leader. Of our party and recognize his service to our party and to our nation. It is on his shoulders I stand with gratitude. He has decided not to offer himself for election as leader. After prayerful consideration and consultation with my family, I will offer myself as a candidate for the leader of the Free National Movement. I ask for God's blessing and guidance. I pray God's eternal blessings on our Bahamas. Kwesi Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, has said he will submit. He said, I am offering myself as a candidate for leader of the Free National Movement. This is it. Kwesi Thompson has thrown his hat into the ring. Ollie, what happened to my Game of Thrones soundtrack, man? Ollie, that's when you play the songs, man, Ollie. What happened, Ollie? Where the music gone? Get with Ollie. I know it. You got it. How do people say to young people? Say, shoot the DJ. That is Kwesi Thompson is going to put his name into the ring. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I see no problem with Kwesi Thompson adding himself to the list of potential leaders for the Free National Movement. I actually think, someone said winter is coming. I think I like it. I mean, at this point, okay. So what we have going on here, ladies and gentlemen, right, is now, so of course, like I said, we know Hiram Lewis has already said that he is also offering himself as leader. And now we have Kwesi Thompson also offering himself as leader. What I do know, and what we all know, is that, so there are fractions, or there are houses. And I have to share my screen here. I have to share it, right? Because there are houses. There is this faction within the party. And so this is what I was getting, right? So I'm getting all of these calls. I get it from insiders within the party. And they were surprised and a little upset by this move by Mr. Thompson, some were. And the concern is, okay, that Dr. Minnis now is putting in position his folks. And I think that's somewhat disrespectful to Mr. Thompson and to Hiram Lewis, that they are considered Dr. Minnis's too. And that Michael Pintard is favored by more houses than the House of Minnis. So you have the House of Minnis, and then you got the House of some other kingmakers that I was told not to mention. And these houses have come together collectively, and the majority are in favor of House Pintard, of Mr. Pintard, right? But Mr. Pintard has not put his name in the ring. They have until November 18th. But I was told today from insiders, right? And some say, I for Pintard, Marco City. I was told by insiders that indeed they view Kwesi Thompson's entrance as one that is calculated by Dr. Minnis, and that he needs to let go, right? That this is another political move by Dr. Minnis to hold on to the reins of power. That in turn makes this story or statement that somehow Kwesi Thompson is being used as a scapegoat. And I don't like that. I really, as grown adults, we would hope that no one is a pawn or a Manchurian candidate, right? We would hope that, as he said, which is a wonderful letter, by the way, 4 pages, but very well written and very moving, Mr. Thompson. His letter was very moving. Someone says Kwesi Thompson is Tommy Turnquest 2.0. No joke, I said the same. Someone said Kwesi sounds like a good candidate, but no. Kwesi Minnis was not a great leader. You need to build on all of the FNM leaders, and please don't mention him much. Now, see, that's my challenge, where Mr. Thompson says, it was an honor to serve with Dr. Minnis. I honor this great leader of our party and recognize his service to our party and to our nation. It is on his shoulders I stand with gratitude. I don't know if that's the one you would use, but considering that Dr. Minnis has just been told, don't do this again. Don't come here no more. We don't want you to run. We don't want you to put your name even on the floor. That the party stopped that and wouldn't even allow a nomination from the floor, thus sending Mr. Minnis really just in the back seat in a house where he was just previously the leader. This is interesting, where the party now, where parts of the party are saying Michael Pintard is their chosen person. That's who they choose. They want Michael Pintard. And they would prefer that Mr. Pintard remain or be that person, and that there will be council meetings, but they are not pleased with this entrance. Some are with Mr. Thompson entering the ring. They had no fear of Mr. Lewis, but apparently Kwesi Thompson may be a different deal, and they are not liking this. So the houses are fighting, yeah? And I think it's going to be quite interesting. But Michael Pintard is the favorite of more of the FNMs, based on what I was told. And yet he has not added or entered his name. And I was also told that though Hiram Lewis and Kwesi Thompson have both said that they will offer or put their hat in the ring for leadership, neither have submitted their form or officially submitted their application to be leader. And so therefore, there could very well be no leaders. There might be where they never submit that form, and this is all for naught. This is what I was getting, and I thought it was fascinating to hear. So, and interestingly, I was going to have a show with someone from from the Free National Movement today, and it was canceled. They were unable to do the show, and this was the reason why they were unable to do the show. So I think it's something to watch, right? Someone said Pintard is no saint. No, but he would probably be the clear favorite. I think that Pintard may definitely be a better front runner if you're talking about the party. Michael Pintard does have a lot of groundswell support in fisheries. He does have a lot of persons where they believe that, hey, someone says Togi and Bobo. He has that support. The fishermen love him. When he worked with marine resources and agriculture, that this was something that he garnered sufficient support. I think he would be a good candidate for the Free National Movement. But we will see. We will see. I don't know if right now, I think Kwesi Thompson said he stands on the shoulders of Dr. Minnis with gratitude, right? I don't know if he's saying that Dr. Minnis is the wind beneath his wings. Not wise. I don't know if it's good that even in the party, they viewed Kwesi Thompson's entrance as if he is some sort of pawn for Dr. Minnis to keep power. I think all of those things are subjective, but in the party, this is what they're saying. I'm not telling you from outside of the party. Inside of the party, this is what I'm getting from high-ranking positions within the party, and that they are not very happy. But this is just a submitting. This is an announcement, and we will see how it goes. So Iram Lewis is in. Kwesi Thompson said that he's in. Michael Pintard is still not. And for the record, this is all three members of parliament for Grand Bahama for the Free National Movement. Very interesting stuff there as well. Something else that was said to me was that the concern will be that this will fracture Grand Bahama. I don't know. I don't understand. For me, I don't, in terms of votes, and I've asked how many persons are voting. There was even a suggestion that when election day comes on the 27th, that there may be no contenders other than one, which is Mr. Pintard. So let's see. This is I'm popcorn ready. I like stuff. This is fun. And I think I like this for the Free National Movement. Why do I like this for them? Because it's that beginning to bring back that excitement, gin up that hope for the party and get them going again. Hopefully a new face, a fresh face in leadership will give them the jumpstart that they need. But I don't know, boy. Some of these folks don't, what did the CA say? 0 votes. So I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. I'll tell you that. And so I think this is something to watch. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, Kwesi Thompson, Member of Parliament for East End Grand Bahama, seat formerly occupied by the former Deputy Prime Minister, KP de Turnquest, is now entered, put his name in the race, in the race, or his hat in the race, in the ring for leadership of the Free National Movement. You have Iram Lewis, who's already put himself in that position. And of course, the favorite who has not yet put his name in, which is the one and only Michael Pintard. I had a former senator tell me today, man, he would have, if he was in a member of parliament, he would have put his name in the ring as well. Feels like it's a free-for-all. You get a chance. You get a chance. Everybody wants a chance. Well, let them get a chance. But I think that the Free National Movement will do well. Shannon Don Cartwright is not in this list right now because I'm not sure if he is seriously contending or vying for it. We have, and something also interesting. What was said, someone says, Nassau done screw up the party enough. Let Grand Bahama get a turn. I've heard rumors. Has Branville McCartney put his name in the race for leadership yet? No, that's all of that is conjecture. Yeah, all of that is conjecture. We haven't heard anything about Brand. It is rumored, but no. Also, something to consider here as well, right, is that in the House of Assembly for the opposition, there are 7 candidates. What was intimated earlier before the Prime Minister was unable to have his name called, the former Prime Minister, Dr. Minnis was unable to have his name called on the party floor, which is what was the party saw fit to ensure that was not to happen. Because I know for a fact that Dr. Minnis was indeed calling around and garnering votes because of a mistaken call, but we digress. So this is where it gets interesting now, because we heard before that one of the strategies may have been that with the 7 members of parliament for the administration, for the opposition, that Dr. Minnis would have 4 votes. And they were saying it would be himself, Kwesi Thompson, Aaron Lewis, and Adrian Gibson. But I was told that Adrian Gibson still lands in the middle, and not necessarily for anyone. Adrian White, the new member of parliament for St. Anne's, was still also in the middle. And then you have Michael Pintard, and he would be by, and there's someone else I'm missing, I'm sure, Shannon Don Cartwright. So this is where it gets interesting. So now Aaron Lewis and Kwesi Thompson were considered two of the stronger ones for Dr. Minnis, and both are now running and putting their hat in the ring. And I heard that the concern is that he's trying to split the vote and perhaps get at least one of the two in as leader of the party, and therefore he would be still in charge. We'll see. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, let's dive in. We got a lot more to talk about. Police brutality, y'all. That's something that is that's been a big story. But before I do that, let me get your take on this. I want to get your take. And Arlie, please send me all the text messages that you have. Someone says, got to be crazy to elect Minister's cousin as leader. Someone says he nominates Mr. White from St. Anne's. And another one says, at best, they're all novices. It won't work. Look, I would say that as far as the novices position goes, right? As far as that is, I think most come in as novices. The Aaron Lewis, Michael Pintard, Kwesi Thompson are, apart from Dr. Minnis, the more seasoned, right? And so we will see how this plays out. And they all deserve a chance. Put your name in. My God, Dr. Minnis was definitely not the best. Can anyone be better? I'm almost certain many can be better in terms of the leadership style of Dr. Minnis. And what the party needs from outside looking in is a fresh start. And Michael Pintard is poetic. The brother can spin and weave a tale. I don't know about Mr. Lewis. I don't know. Mr. Lewis don't have that boom. Kwesi Thompson, I feel a little Tommy Turnquest coming on. No offense to Mr. Turnquest, but I don't feel it. I just don't feel it. They all have something to prove, but it's only about the party. The Free National Movement has the final say, and hopefully their choice will lead us to a better option. If the people decide that after 5 years of the PLP, they need another break, and if Lincoln Bain those decide that they are not going to continue on or whatever it is, the Free National Movement needs to change. We'll see how this works out. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a lot more to talk about. I have some concerns with police brutality, and we have a lot to talk about. The Game of Thrones of the Free National Movement leadership race heating up. Aaron Lewis, now Kwesi Thompson, and of course, the still sleeper Michael Pintard. Let's see what all happens. We will be back right after this.
Text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-Bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
Baja sugar, sugar, let's get sugary. Softer, smoother, and amazing skin. Oh, Baja sugar, sugar, we're the sugar ladies, giving you skin soft as a baby's. Goodbye hair, we'll take good care of you.
Come visit us at Bahar Retreat Spa on East Bay Street. Contact us at 323-6711 or visit us online at www.baharretreat.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Someone say, Miss, don't talk no fool about Lincoln. Why? Why y'all hating on Lincoln Bain? Lincoln Bain could very well pull up an upset. He almost been Pine Wood. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well, taking care of yourself and enjoying your best life. It's normally we do this show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Why do I do this shows? So we're going to switch gears, but I do have a segment after this where I want to talk about some issues that concern me with regard to policing in the country. And I know you guys have seen the videos that have happened just recently. Pedro Morley on his awarding of him being awarded over $80,000. And I hope that he stays safe. So you please cover Mr. Morley in prayer, because, you know, you can't even have a doghouse and people breaking in there for your float. What kind of where we come from? Where we come from, man. And it shows you things have changed. You know, we've changed. And there's a struggle that's going on in country with this economy. And I really, what is so important to me, y'all, you have to hear my heart when I say this. What is important to me, politics is a game folks play. They play it with the people's money. They play these games. They get you all excited up and down. And mind you, I sit on the side knowing that it's a game. So it doesn't, and why I say it's a game is because there is no urgency in our politics. There's no understanding in our politics that at the end of your policy are people. And we seem to like playing the game with the people's money and missing that the policies are to empower the people. And so this game is played. And if you understand that it is a game, if you envision it, know what it is, then your soul and your heart is not tied to the policy. You got to be beyond the policy. You watch the policymakers, but you got to be ahead of the policymakers. See, you got to, if you're fighting a war, you got to know your enemy. If you're in battle, you got to know your terrain. You got to know what the enemy is coming with. You have to understand and navigate to the point where you hope to win. But a war is many battles. Some battles you lose, but the goal is to win the war. You strategize. One of the things in my life, my husband and I, is that we have to be in position so that even if the politician does a stupid policy and they affect you, they do affect you. If you have a business and a dumb policy comes into place, it'll affect you. There are things that will affect you, but you have to be at some point. That's why I don't play the politics game, you know. I don't play the game. The game ain't for me. I don't have time to be caught up on who win in yellow or red. That don't mean nothing to me. It doesn't feed me. I don't get the new job. I don't get those things. They aren't a part of my being. I can't, because when you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. I could care less who you are. Why am I saying this? And why do I do these shows? The shows that I do for wealth is not just for me. It is for you. The reason why we do these shows is because these politicians put on their suits. For 5 years, they get to travel on our dime. They get to see the world. They may say they're working, but they got an entourage. Some people doing things you do on the side, and they're making $80,000, $90,000. That includes all of the perks. And you struggling to make 22. You're a photographer. How come you're struggling? See, we got to understand that this is the difference. They get up. They have a job. That's their job. But we're over here watching TV or listening to the radio, and you have to make sure that you are building up your wealth resource. You can't sit here and be enamored with the game. Games are recreational. These fellas play politics with our lives, and it's recreational. I look for urgency, I look for intention and purpose. Once I don't see it, I move on. I don't hang up. I don't believe in hanging up. You assess and you determine, and then you let people surprise you after that determination. But don't get caught up. It's PLP, FNM, coalition, DNA. Are you getting your life in order? That's all that matters, Get yourself in order. Ensure that you and your family is straight and not from illicit means, man. Stop waiting on governments to come in to get a contract. Mind you, if you get the contract, don't be silly. And after 5 years, when the government's going out, you still have nothing. You eat. That's feast and famine. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of lack. 5 years of plenty, 5 years of lack. Stop playing yourself. Lead your life financially so that no one can own you. Don't ever be owned. And so I do these shows because I want us to have a revelation in ourselves of the value of ourselves, so that politics, literally, you own the politician, they don't own you. You demand to them. We need to be the voter bloc that says, man, listen, I could give $1 million to UB too. Y'all should name a road after me. So that you could sit to my table. What? Sabas, they have to sit to his table because he got money. Frankie Wilson, they got to sit to his table because he got the money. All you got is the vote. And after you vote for them, they move on. Don't let them play you. You play the game. You own them. Be the mover. Make them the pawns. And you be the knight and the king. So don't ever I notice when I do these shows, some of y'all is tooling off. You know why? Because you ain't into the money-making business. You ain't into that changing of your mindset. You're still thinking that you only deserve a job. You're still calling your MP for a job. I need y'all to get in a mindset. Because the MP could change, child. They could change. I got myself joining me on the show. For me, this is important. I do this refresher every time of these shows for y'all because we got to get to a wealthy mindset. Opportunities abound for those who seek it. And success is yours if you actually desire it, plan it. I didn't get to where I am today because I was sitting down. I fought my fears. Nobody believes that I was shy. Only my mom know that. I want to welcome my good friend, Nathaniel Butler and Kayleen Newton, all the way from Grand Bahama. How y'all doing? Okay, unmute, everybody, unmute.
Great, man. I'm so excited to be back here with you and my good friend, Mrs. Grand Bahama herself.
Yeah.
It's always
How y'all doing?
Always a pleasure to be here.
Man, listen,
especially on the topic of wealth and mindset.
Yes. And that's what we're going to talk about, And I wanted to preach to folks, listen, don't turn the dial. People tend to switch off, man. They don't, and then they wonder why, we all broke and we need you. No, you need to deal with you first. Deal with you first. All right. So I want to welcome you both. Someone says, yeah, Kayleen, the money maven. Yeah. Siobhan says, agree, but that's how the politicians condition our minds, get their own piece of the pie. If I don't work here, then move. The world has much opportunity, y'all. The world has much. Say it again, Siobhan. That's my friend in Bermuda. Say it again, sister. The world has much opportunity. All right. Wealthy mindsets, y'all. And it's a big topic, and I want us to talk about it because the millionaire mindset is different from the poverty mindset. Yeah. Right? Let's go with this. Let's do this. Let's have this discussion. First of all, I want to welcome you both, my beautiful friends. And I'm going to start with you. The brilliant, the incomparable, always wears the best lipstick ever. Miss Newton, Grand Bahama. Kayleen, tell me, what is the millionaire mindset?
A millionaire mindset, in 3 words, I will call it having the thought or the belief, the behavior, and the attitude that you are worthy of more than your circumstances and where you're at, and you're able to capitalize and leverage and become more for yourself and for your family and for generations.
Yeah. Nathaniel?
Someone who leverages their value for money, who leverages their time for money. But more importantly, the value and and build the right relationships to sustain it.
Yeah. Now I'm happy you guys said that. Value time for money. Value time for money. The millionaire mindset is okay. Let me ask this, right? There's this book I'm reading, and I got to remember the title of it. Anyway, it's a branding book, right? It's about, creating your own brand and really creating this movement behind you, right? And one of the things that the author talks about, and I have this book somewhere laying about, and I have to find it on the other break, right? So one of the things that he talks about in this book is that you have to be an expert in something.
Yes.
Let's talk about, is the millionaire mindset an understanding of I got to master something, or I can just find a niche? What does that mean in a down-home, relatable equation for folks?
In a down-home, relatable equation is you just have to make the most of what you have. From a very layman's view. And so it's not always about mastery. However, in order to catapult or have that quantum leap or have more, if you master it, you're able to leverage it more. So the more you master that area, the more wealth you could attain. And then you find ways on how you can multiply it. So definitely, yes, it's a process, but you don't have to start off there. A lot of us think it's about perfection, but it's about excellence. And it's a difference.
Whoa, say that again. A lot of people think it's about perfection, but it's about excellence.
It's about excellence. And perfection is a myth. Excellence is doing the best that you can with what you have at that time, and then moving those needle points until you could get to another stage and doing it again and just continuing to replicate it.
Nat, and let me ask you this. Do you need money for the millionaire mindset? Do I need money to be successful?
No. Let me tell you what you need. One thing and one thing only, exposure. One thing and one thing only, exposure. If you want to be a millionaire, find the closest. And here's the thing. Let me say this. What does a Bahamian millionaire look like to you? What does a Bahamian Black female millionaire look like to you? What does a Bahamian Black male look like to you? Or white Bahamian millionaire look like to you? The reason why I say that is this, and this is the challenge that I have in regards to when we talk about millionaire mindset and persons who are millionaires in our society. Every name that you can think of, I can guarantee you, if you were to call them, somebody have an issue with them. Mm-hmm. Somebody views them in a particular way. Now, here's the persons who have reached that plateau. And what I am saying is all you have to do is have the right conversations with them and have them to hold you accountable. And the level of exposure that they will provide you, there is no way you cannot hit millionaire status. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Because they're going to focus you.
No. Sorry. Finish your thought.
I was going to say they were going to focus you to the point where Carlene is saying that Kayleen is saying that in the sense that once you figure out what that thing is, now it's a level of getting it to a place of not mastery, but like she said, excellence. And then boom, you now have the results of that excellence.
Yeah. One of the things, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. We're talking about the millionaire mindset, the wealth mindset, that mindset that I think is foundational to get out of the space that you're in. If you do believe that this is the best you can do, or man, listen, I don't even have a job right now. What you talking about being a millionaire? Like, what are you talking about? I have no income. What does that mean? And I always, reality is, right? And this is what's so, my thinking on this is, when we were in economics in 101, is to tell you, well, money is an idea, right? The currency, the paper money is an idea. It's just an exchange. It's an agreed upon, exchange or form of value, right? And so we've agreed on it. We moved from cattle and all of that to exchange. And today we don't see money. Like, I can go online, I can transfer money to you. You can transfer money to me. And it is numbers, ones and zeros that can travel across, and it's still an idea. When we want to see it, we get it as currency, but everything is a little digital. But I remember, and why I'm saying all of this is this, I remember me sitting in school when I was younger. I was in primary school. And one day I was this is the stupidest story. I'll tell you all, this is really, so forgive me. It's a real story, but it's really dumb. But I remember one day I used to love to dance at home, right? We used to my brothers used to teach me how to dance all the time. One day at school, I just started dancing in primary school. Just started dancing. Everybody started to circle around, right? And I said, hold on, y'all can't watch me dance for free. Everybody give me a quarter. My good friend went around the circle and made everybody give a quarter, and they were going to watch for free. My point is this, that just that simple thing became an opportunity, right? And I've started to learn that moment was for me a learning, a mindset that, hey, you are able to create wealth from an idea.
Yes.
And that was harder then than it is now. I think that it is so much easier to gain success through ideas, through opportunities that you normally wouldn't see. And that's what I want you guys to share with my audience for me today. That the idea side of it is a money generating side of it. It is, nothing is impossible anymore.
You're right.
So I want to add to this conversation from this point of view. Money is a medium of exchange. And you just gave a childhood story that showed there was an exchange. In order for you to see me dance, you had to give me a quarter. Okay? And you may think that it was stupid or a dumb story, but the reality is, from its simplistic point of view, that is what it is all about. And it's also for us to understand that currency is not just the paper dollar. You have the relational currency, you have emotional currency, you have different types of currency. You have proximity currency that I like to say to others too. Who are you in proximity to that you can learn from, that you can leverage, that you can lead and influence? We have to look at wealth as not just one thing. And you started to talk about, how could I have a wealthy mindset if I don't even have a job? The statistic says that most millionaires are 10 times in a better position than the average person because they're always thinking of their next move. No matter the failures, no matter the fears, no matter the frustrations, they're always thinking of what else can I do? How can I move myself from where I'm at to where I need to be? When you sit in that negativity, even with your challenges, you stay there. Our beliefs create our behaviors. And that's the bottom line.
I agree.
And when we start to think like that and shift from a poverty or a scarcity or a lack mentality or mindset, we can easily move into an abundance or a wealth mindset, even if our circumstances haven't caught up to that as yet.
But we a lot of say it folks, man. Church folks always talking abundance. Church folks always preaching he's more than enough, but yet we still struggling to give $5 in tithe and offering. We still struggling. How is that? How does that not reconcile? Because I know a lot of broke church people. We always talking abundance, but I know a lot of broke church folk. Why is it not reconciling? Why is that we can say it in one breath and not be it in another? What is the missing link? Let me go with you, Nat. You're a preacher's boy.
No, I compare it to almost like getting a degree and getting a certification. You could sit in a classroom and get a degree, like you talk about the church community, right? You get so much knowledge. Your first day on the job, you can't take all of that knowledge and make that applicable or productivity out of that knowledge. No. But if you get somebody who has a certification, coming out of that program, they're almost more guaranteed to be able to do certain set of skills coming out of that program. So the issue is you have the knowledge, but it's not put in practical terms where you're held accountable to anyone. It's just, here's the information, and you get so puffed up with the information that if anybody else comes with the same information or from a different perspective, you shut them down because you think you already know it. But always remember this. It's not about what you know. The shift for me, and I'm talking about a real life story. The shift for me was this. I ran into a Bahamian who is a millionaire. This person at the time was who was 21. They did not come from money. They generated this money off the internet, right? Millionaire. How do I know? Because I was dealing with their financial statements. So I know they are a millionaire. And not in regards to sizing up the individual. This is a high school dropout who became a millionaire by capitalizing on an opportunity. And I'm sitting there across the table from this individual, providing a service to them. And I'm saying to myself, but I'm more educated. I have more skill set. I'm happy for my brother. But at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I know too much and I'm getting very little from what I know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knew a little bit and he maximized that caused him to reach a level. And I'm talking about 21. This is 21. Drop out of school and millionaire 21.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Crazy.
To the point where today, this person don't even live in the Bahamas. They continue traveling. To your point, at the end of the day, once you will become a millionaire in your mindset first before it is materialized.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of shifting and moving some things around because honestly, limitations, fears, some preconceptions, people put some crazy things in your head. No, if you become this or if you do it the real estate way or the business way, or you got to be affiliated with a particular party in order for you to hit this. No, I will be, and I'll say this in my closing point. I've come to the realization that as long as you can assess in your environment where the opportunity lies, what you have is not about what you don't have. It's not about what you don't have. It's all about what you have, what you know. If you can assess that, and whoever you need to bring along the way to help you materialize that to get to where you need to get. I had a conversation with a lady.
Well, hold that thought. Let's take a break. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's dive into it a bit more. The wealthy mindset. I always tell you guys, we do this for each other. We do this to grow each other. We got to be successful, man. We got to be able to empower and change this country one account at a time. Let's just move up a threshold. We'll be back right after this.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Okay, one of my favorite books, The Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Okay, I really like this book. It ain't that deep, you know. I just like the fact, and when I say it ain't that deep, so I have a lot of books. I do have a lot of books I read. And then some, you know, like the motivational set. But why I like this one, right? This book tells you, and it's forwarded by one of my favorite all-time authors, Robert Kiyosaki, right? So let me just Expert Secrets, right? The Underground Playbook for creating a mass movement. Okay, this sounds terrible. I ain't used the techniques yet, but I'm telling you, I like it. Creating a mass movement of people who will pay for your assistance, your expertise, whatever. I love this book. Why do I love this book so much? Because the first thing it says is find your thing. It teaches you, it walks you through. Find your niche. Find your money-making ability, right? And then how do you develop it? What it also helps you to realize is it isn't for just the Bahamas. It is for the world to consume. We have a limiting belief because we still, man, we don't support each other here, you know. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's tell the truth, shame the devil. We don't support each other here. You write a book, 10 Bahamians could buy it, and all come from your church. It's the truth. All right? Tell me I lie. I lie. You could write. Let me bring my guest on just so you can see the facial expressions.
You would have to keep it.
You do what you want to do. And you realize that because it's our culture, right? I know you. Who you is trying to teach me about X, Y, and Z. But I tell this, I say this all the time. The country is filled. Our country is filled. Not everybody's supposed to be pastors, you know, or politicians. Motivational speakers. We're supposed to be teachers and trainers. And we ended up, because we're so small and because we're all at the same level, we end up talking to each other. But you'd be surprised how brilliant you are in the world. So this book is all about getting into the world and saying, you know what, Nahaja, you speak pretty well. They might not pay you to speak here. I mean, they do. But they might not pay you to speak here. But you could speak somewhere else. Maybe it's time now to say, I could write a book. And I got the skills now how to market that book. I have a skill set now how to make a podcast that other people listen to. And I think there's a lot of great opportunity. I just don't limit yourself, man. Don't believe because you ain't special here. You're not special around the world. We just don't appreciate people in this country. We don't elevate. We'll tell you you're good. You're smart now. You're smart, boy. Girl, you're so smart. And then you try to make that into money. And then you're like, I know about that book though. Catch me later. Millionaire Mindset. I've got, and it's a wealthy mindset. Someone says, why the emphasis on millionaire? I just want y'all to know it's all about the mindset of wealth. And that's just a marker. There's a great book called The Millionaire Next Door, The Millionaire Mindset. All of these things, everybody's talking about the millionaire. Some of us ain't got a million, so I know why you're making noise anyway. So let's just go with that. I want to welcome Kaylee Newton and, of course, my good friend, Nathaniel Butler. Let's talk about it, y'all. When we end it, because that's the thing for me, guys. The thing for me, guys, is that we don't have our market space is also pretty small, right? We're and all of us are we are serious entrepreneurs in this country, you know. We got a hustle in us, you know. Yeah. We have a strong hustle in us. Children are selling wares now, you know. They mommy helping them make slime and candles and lip balm, and we have that in us, but somehow it's not manifesting into wealth. I want to ask you, Nat, what do you say to that person who's working hard, but it ain't manifesting into wealth?
Well, it's a couple of things. One, we need to see whether or not the market that they're targeting can support that wealth aspiration. For some persons, it's just a matter of time. For others, they may need to change the market. Product is solid, like you made mention of, high quality. Take it to a different market, love you, sold out. Remain in the same market, and you could have a superstar in a pond instead of an ocean. And so I think that's the first thing. The second thing is you also have to take in consideration that you also have to look at, and this is a challenge for persons who have more than one skill. Mm-hmm. Which skill set, which talent should I go with first? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's also another thing you need to consider. I would always say this. At the end of the day, after you assess what the need is, how big the market is, how much they're willing to pay you, how much it will cost you to provide that product, service, information, whatever it is, how quickly you can get it to them, and trust me, you'll hit it. And when you hit it, now other opportunities start to open up to you, and you start to move on to doing other things, more collaboration with other people who have similar or same mindsets. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited. I am not ashamed. I'll say it here. I'm not ashamed to say that having a millionaire mindset will, as long as you stay true to it, you won't be too far from being a millionaire. And I'm literally on that journey. It ain't too long now. It ain't too long now. I can honestly come out and say that.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling.
You know my story.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now too.
And I'll say this too. I'll say this too. One of the things I do want everybody here to know. I know there's a lot of books out there, but I have to emphasize, you have to put in practice as much as possible what you're reading.
Yes.
You have to put in practice as much as possible what you're reading. It doesn't benefit you just knowing it. It benefits you as you apply it.
Yeah. And one of those things that's important too is knowing that fear is a factor that shouldn't limit you. And a lot of people have fear. Someone's made a good point is many Bahamians speak around the money, though. We speak around and we get deep philosophically. We talk about it from a theoretical position, but folks want tangible steps, right? How do I move from the scarcity mindset, right? Or that it's limited, that access to funds is limited. I don't have a job, Kaylee. I don't have it. There ain't no money coming here. And as soon as I get that money, I got to pay some bills. I got children to feed. I got a light to cut on if I could cut it on. What are you all talking about? Help someone move from point A to point B.
I understand that you're bringing that right back, talking about that person who doesn't have a job, but yet they have bills. My story, I could tell you my story. My first job was I was making $150 a week as a academic with a dual degree, and my loan was $600. And I tell people, do the math. So if I was making $150 a week, they were taking out national insurance. I had to pay the bank $600 a month. I knew in my mind that I now needed to find something else other than my job to supplement what I was doing to meet my commitments. Number two, we have to be intentional about bringing our expenses down. So what ends up happening too is when we have these challenges, we don't think that we need to adjust also. We believe that we need to find a way to now pay for what we already have or the expenses we have already accumulated. Mm-hmm. This is where you have to meet the road and really dig in and do things differently. No one says it's going to be easy. It is not easy. When you see someone succeed, it's because they are putting in the hard work to disrupt what they know because they don't want that anymore for themselves. They want to do something different. Yeah. And so it's going to be hard. So the one thing that you have to do is say to yourself, I do not want this to be me for the rest of my life. I do not want to live this way for the rest of my life. Eric Thomas says it best. When you want to, you'll succeed. When you want to, I can't remember how the quote is, but it talks about how badly you want to breathe. Mm-hmm. So it's basically saying it becomes a part of you. And it's not easy. And the next thing you have to do is you really have to disrupt your circle. You cannot be among the same set of people who are complaining and in the same position as you and believe that you're going to move into something else. Mm. Number three, it doesn't have to be major moves. It can be needlepoint moves, micro moves. The thing is, we want things overnight. We want this microwave type result. But we have to understand we need patience and perseverance to move us. I could tell you my story, and I'm just like Nathaniel. When I would sit down and see what my clients had, and I'm making millions and multi-millions for them, but I was taught, go to school, get that great education, come back home and climb a corporate ladder that is almost non-existent, especially in Grand Bahama. That is when I said, this was not going to be my fate. I saw an infographic maybe about 5 years ago, and it talks about how to make $1 million. And it goes back to stripping away that complexity and just seeing things from a simplistic point of view. And that infographic said, sell a $200 product to 5,000 people. Mm-hmm. That's $1 million in cash.
Wow.
Could you imagine that some people pay more than that for a pair of tennis and they're jobless, or even for some hair and they are underpaid? So if we could now just understand that this is not what we want for ourselves anymore, and find ways to do things differently and disrupt that culture, trust and believe, you would see a shift. Even when you're down, even when you feel like nothing is going well for you, it all starts in the mind. You know, going back to what Nat was saying, and then I'll wrap up here. There's a quote that I remember. It says, a formal education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune.
Go ahead. I like that one.
Okay? And people may say, oh, it just sounds cliche. But when you talk to persons who have made it, and we could talk about the very public millionaires that we have among ourselves, like the Sabasses, like the Frankie Wilsons and the Bay Street Boys, they tell you it's a process, and they are determined not to stop. Even if they're defeated, they may be down for a minute, but they find that next best thing. Look at what Sabas is doing. He has now found something else.
Yep, keep moving forward.
Creatives like Burton of the Moby Group or Sherrod with Frame. Look how they are changing the game, even though, yes, that's their industry, but they are redirecting their skill set in an area where they can leverage it and have impact and create money. This is what we need to now think about. We have to understand that, yes, you have a job. Yes, that's what they tell you to do, but that is not going to change your financial legacy. A job is earned income. That's a stream of income, but that is not going to shift your legacy. And if we are determined to cause this country to economically move forward differently, it starts with us. We have to each do our part to do things differently.
I love it. Someone says they might call you bougie, but they won't call you broke. And Siobhan says, and keep silent with your move and plans. I learned that as well. You know, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Hayley Newton there, and Grand Bahama, Nathaniel Butler joining us on the show. And we're talking about the wealthy mindset, the need to shift your mindset. Why is this important? Everybody talking about a new day. I was telling people after the election, it just turned Friday. Most of our situations, 99% of us, nothing changed in our lives other than it was another day. And so that means that it isn't about the party changing, it is about personal changes. How do we personally change it? One of the things that the story to share. I got tons of stories. I'm sweating. I feel like I lived like 10 lives or whatever. But I remember, again, coming home from school, I got this degree now. I can't get no job. Can't find a job. And I said, you know what? This was when websites were new, right? This is when everybody needed a website. This was website craze. You could get a website for $300 back in the day, right? And then you could charge $3,000. I'll tell people this story. So my whole thing was, I'd learned already by this time that money is everywhere. And it doesn't mean that I need to know what's going on. I just need to outsource, right? I need to outsource. I learned about, because I learned business. One of the things I learned with business, E-Myth Mastery by Michael Gerber, Think and Grow Rich. So I'm reading all of these books. And one of the things was, how do I get someone else to do the work for me? Because I want a business now. I want laborers and I want to do it cheap. And I learned about outsourcing. So I decided that I was going to start a website building business. Do I know anything about HTML coding? No. What I do know is I can give a great sales pitch and I understand business so I can speak to the business owner in the terms that they want to hear. But what I started to do was simple. I knew that at this point, there was what was the name of the Elance? Elance.com had already existed. I could outsource the work to Elance.com, get them someone else in another country to build this website, and I would serve as the intermediary. Client was none the wiser. Made thousands of dollars that kept me without a formal job for at least 2 years, right? I still have some clients today. They obviously know now what the deal was, but I still have clients today, and I don't do the job work anymore. My point in saying all of that was I learned early that I don't need to know the thing in order to get the thing done. All I needed to know was to communicate, right? I knew what my gift was communication. Everything else, I just needed to be able to communicate that thing. And I made a substantive living without a 9-to-5. It is easier today to do that. There are many people who are sitting home who've been laid off, and you'd be surprised. The hotel industry is, if you are a housekeeper, why are we afraid of technology, right? Just go, listen, if you're a housekeeper, you know how to make beds. You'd be surprised by how many people don't know how to make a bed for their Airbnb. So you do a video all about how to keep your Airbnb spotless. Mm-hmm. And you take certain aspects, how to fold a sheet, a perfectly fitted sheet, so that you can put it in the cubby hole. You could make a channel, and then you subscribe to Google Ads, and you connect your First Caribbean accounts, because you know that you want better off on online banking accounts. Your First Caribbean account, you got your Commonwealth Bank account that actually is pretty good. You got your Bank of the, I don't do Bank of the Bahamas, but anyway, you could use them too, and you could receive this foreign money now directly into your account, right? I even know Scotia does the same. You could receive this foreign funds directly into your account. You don't even need to use PayPal anymore. I don't know if anybody else knows it's a central bank, but anyways, we digress. So my thing is that do not limit yourself. The knowledge that you have is usable for someone else. So therefore, you are not without the ability to make money, and the internet has made money making so much easier. In a day and age where there's no limitations, whereas you had limitations before. You can, there's a brother doing Bahamian puzzles on eBay. That is a Bahamian fellow that's doing jigsaw puzzles, not on eBay, on Amazon. And he's just figured out, I know a company that does I send them the photos, I sell it, and he's making a business. There's no limitations. And the mindset is the thing that limits us, because then everything else is there. Not your thoughts.
No, I want to just jump and piggyback on that. So somebody might be sitting down and say, well, who do I call up first? Or I don't have the money, because everything you said sounds great, but I don't have no money at all. Well, I would normally say to a person, I would take your same example, Nahaja. I would literally, if I believe in my talent, if I have worked in the hotel for 30, 25, so many years, I will call up a friend, because I have known a lot of people who call me and hit me up. I'll call up a friend and tell them straight, hey, I need that slow 200. I need that slow 100. Okay, I'm going to pay my nephew, my niece, my cousin, my neighbor, whoever. Y'all can get the camera. Y'all can set it up. Y'all going to put me on that thing. Mm-hmm. I might not even know what that thing is, but y'all going to put me on that thing. You're going to put me on the YouTube or the TikTok or whatever site I need to be on, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're going to manage that for me. You're going to manage the content for me. You're going to manage the responses. And now we're going to monetize this thing. Mm-hmm. I think we just need to now, like I said, and I can't overemphasize it, you got to look in your environment. You got to see who you need to collaborate with. But more importantly, understand what you're bringing to the table that is of some value, man. Of some value. The last and most important thing I would say is this. You're right. We're living in an era where as many who wants it can become self-efficient, financially stable, if they wish to pursue it through the internet. Mm-hmm. So, but where do you go to get the information? Well, just continue to turn into Nahaja Black, especially on the Wednesdays, Wealthy Wednesdays, and we will provide that information to you. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this, in all seriousness, there are free online courses. There are paid online courses. There are paid courses locally. There is local. Delve in, get the information, understand your value, understand how to package your value, and trust me, you can make it, man. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and who you know who have results.
Yeah. And buy some good books. These books cheap, man. These books cheap. This isn't, you know, these things are expensive. And plus, I always tell people, go to udemy.com. You could go call Kayleen, call Nat. You get experts in the field. Listen, I talk to these people all the time. Why? Because I always got questions. I have my folks who I call. All right, I need to know what this is, what this means. And Gillian, you said something that was so important. You said, oh Lord, now I lost it. You said something so important and it just went out of my head. But really just, I think it in essence of being ahead of the trend. I always used to follow the business section because I like to know what's trending, right? So now I know that Air Canada is flying straight to Exuma,
Yes.
right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, Nahaja, what does that mean? So my mind is already, and you want your mind, this show is all about getting your mind rewired. I want y'all to pay attention. It ain't about the 10-step plan on getting wealthy. It is about how do you rewire your mind so that when you see opportunities, you can recognize opportunities, question yourself and say, how do I take advantage of that opportunity? Mm-hmm. Analyze if that opportunity is for you or if it's not for you.
Let's touch that. You just mentioned the airline from Canada going to Exuma. Mm-hmm. That means that most persons who are going to come from Canada, who are going to spend some time in Exuma, are of a certain wage or income class. Mm-hmm. They have needs.
Yeah.
Now you need to figure out what value you can bring to them. That's just one demographic. We got a whole cruise port coming here. We have companies and people. What value you could bring to them? That's another class of individuals. You understand what I'm saying? These are not the regular, everyday individuals who we come across. These are a different group of persons who are going to be coming on an ongoing basis. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you just need to figure out, okay, what can we do? Even if you got to bring the team, the household together, now what we can do here? Because you'll be surprised sometimes where the answer may lie. I know some people who, not from an exploitation standpoint, but I know some people who are making money because of their children. I know some persons who are making, yes, man.
Children's brilliant. I need to work on that. I need to, because I got only children. They need to start making me some money.
Camera for my son. Yeah, you do that. Yeah, that look cute. Okay, let's see him again.
But that is so powerful because when I look at some persons in the U.S. who would have gone viral, who are older, maybe they are Gen X or baby boomers or whatever, they brought their children and their grandchildren in to get them into this tech world. So they had the knowledge or the expertise or the niche, or they knew the value they had, but they didn't know how to navigate the space. But they said, okay, show me what this TikTok is all about. Show me what Instagram is all about. Show me what YouTube is all about. Show me what Facebook is all about. Get the children involved from a positive standpoint and bring it all together. And you will see that you are able to now create a solution for persons, get it out there and make money. So definitely bring your children in. They're more tech savvy than you will ever be. Mm-hmm. And so instead of chastising them about being on it all the time, bring them in and say, show me what could benefit us so that we could create this financial legacy. This is going to benefit you and future generations. So we have to just look at it from that point of view.
And I'm so happy if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. Normally a Wealthy Wednesday. We did it on Tuesday today, but next week we'll continue on Wednesdays. And we do this every year. We tend to always do our blocks of this as much as we can so that we're consistently drilling in how do we shift our mindset for financial wealth and freedom. You wanted to say something, Kayla?
I just wanted to add this one thing too that is a free resource. How to shift your mindset? Read.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah, boy.
Read daily.
YouTube. There's nothing you
information.
There's nothing you want to know that isn't out there. Like
everything is out there. It's just people have perfected something. When I not even perfected, just put the wheel out to a different demographic. As Nathaniel said, just presented it to a different set of people who look at it differently, but it's something or a concept that's been around. So just read, consume that information, and you would see yourself shifting how you look at things, how you think about things, how you talk about things, and how you do things.
Clinton Outen said something that I want to add just to say how powerful it is, group economics. I just wanted to share this, right? We have we have challenges with integrity when it comes to business and country. Yeah. That has led to some challenges overall with the idea of partnership, the idea of working together. We don't even trust our family members. Some of us don't, right? So the issue of integrity is a big thing, right? So first thing, when you talk about group economics, like-minded individuals. Like-minded means that I don't just see you at one event, we talk business, and then we're partners. We flow in the circles for a while. I realize that this is an intentional thing for you. This is an intentional thing for me. I would love if families could come together because you want to create family wealth. You want to create generational wealth, but sometimes families ain't the one. I ain't rolling that way. But I want to say this: the power of group economics, and I know Nat, you want to add something to this too. Imagine now if the three of us decided, hey, you know what? We want to do vacation rentals, right? I've already got a home. Nat, you got a home. Kayleen, you already got a home. But we see the opportunity here. We together separately can't afford $300,000.
No.
But individually, each one of us can go to the bank and get a $100,000 loan. But that ain't $300,000. We need $300,000. We want to be a business. We come together and say, you know what? We're going to come together as Company Amazing. Company Amazing then says, we have a value of $300,000. We each got $1,000, $100,000, put it in this company. We have a value of $300,000. We're going to buy this triplex. Each one of us has a share. Each unit is in our name. Together now, we have a resource, but we don't have to split it up. We have a resource that can leverage for something else in the future. The Bay Street boys, the Sunshine boys. Okay. I ain't there no girls yet, though. We need to figure out where the girls them at.
We have a family here in Grand Bahama that did it. They have the zip line park.
There you go.
They have commercial buildings. Yes, it can be done.
It can be done.
But you speak to something that is so important. Integrity, or the lack thereof, has caused a lot of persons to shy away from group economics. Because as you said, you have to see them and see the results and see the flow. It's not just a one-time good talk business proposal.
No.
You need to actually see evidence.
Yeah.
That and the person can translate.
Yeah, a person should have personal integrity before you could say, hey, man, I know the man, listen, this brother or this sister, they have personal integrity. We believe that their word is their bond. They don't quit when things get tough. You've watched them and you have and then you have, like someone said, good contracts. Contracts are vital. Vital. But I don't like I want the contracts to be tight, but I want to make sure that if we go into business, I know your integrity level.
Yeah. You want the integrity to lead before the contract because you're still at the mercy of the court and that process.
And we're in the Bahamas.
Gets to that point. So you want to make sure that you have a combination of all those characteristics, but integrity and personal integrity, that is so important.
Yeah, there's the limiting mindset. There's nothing you can't learn online. I assure you, nothing you can't. We use all this time on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah. Go on YouTube. You can find out. Hughley said, I don't know how to make up a bed, right? Well, with this.
You go on YouTube.
You go on YouTube. And the thing about it is I go back to, we don't have to complicate it. Just how the thought comes in your mind, you type that in Google.
Just type it in.
Trust me. Obviously, we have analytics or whatever, but the top ones will pop up. Yeah. And you could even say how to fix a bed for dummies. And literally the way they would show you with the step-by-step process would be directed to the person who literally don't understand what to do. So instead of us complicating everything, just how you would talk to your friend or talk to yourself, because that's what creates our mindset too, is that self-talk. Put it in Google and you will see the result. You can Google anything. I'm not saying everything is correct, but more, you would be able to determine that this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You understand? But you would also say, wow, this is the answer I've been looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nat, you wanted that?
No, yeah, I wanted to say something, and it's so funny. I typed in Google some time back, how to make money in real estate in the Bahamas. And I kid you not, there was a video on it by, I won't call the person name. I think they took it down now. However, there's some other videos that are up to date. And I was shocked. I was like literally saying how to make money in real estate in the Bahamas. And this was on YouTube. And I was like,
they know.
But here's the thing. This person created a YouTube video to show persons how to make money in the Bahamas, and it had a lot of views. And I said, you know what? Call up my good friend. We put something together, and we put it out. We put it out there. I kid you not. I got a group would call me and said, hey, we need to have a conversation with you outside of the country. And they said, hey, there's some things we want to do in the real estate. And we saw your video. And, you know, I was like,
I saw your video. Yeah.
Okay. And this is what we want to do. And based on what you're saying, so we're not saying you have to do it. We're saying we will pay you to gather the people who can do all of the necessary things for. And so then they leaned across the table and they said, so how much you charge? In that moment, because I have a PhD from YouTube University, the University of YouTube, I reflected on the videos that I watched, and I was able to give an appropriate answer. And to my amazement, they sent the money. They said everything off the grab. So we said it several times, over and over and over again. And I'm saying this to say to someone out there, I don't need everybody listening to what we are saying and then applying it. I just need a few people who really needed to hear this today. Go out and apply it, and their life is radically changed. Now, when it's changed, make sure you call back Lady Black so she's aware of the change.
Yes, please.
But no, and so that we have more testimony, so that we can say, here's a living example. There's a living example. There's a living example. Because we have a lot in the Bahamas, but because we have this hush-hush society, this, we can't share the secrets with them. No. I saw something the other day. We talked today. I saw something the other day. I was like, everybody who's close to me and want to invest in this area, I have to take it to them. I have to show them this.
Yes.
I have to. Yes. So that they can be, and not for that we partner together to do something in that area. If they are in a position and they have the capability, they now have a model that would help them plan and execute and do things a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this.
To that point.
I'm now to the place, but I've said this, I've said this a long time ago, and I say it again. If you are interested in home ownership, pause, especially if it's your first. Don't buy a house. Buy multifamily. You want revenue. Always leverage. So I always say, if you can afford to buy three is better than two. Why? Because you always have to consider vacancy. If one is empty, do you still have the other to help pay your mortgage?
Yes.
Yeah. So and when you get it, listen, this is the power of it now. When you get it, you can take one and just try the vacation rental. You will not be disappointed. Just try it one time.
No.
You will not be disappointed. It is a powerful thing. And
that's here to stay, man.
Yeah.
Remember
no, it isn't even just here to stay. It is an empowering experience.
It's the new model for people who are traveling, and it's going to be here for a long time. Even the ones who you think have the money to pay for the pen, that is no longer the model. I want, when I travel, that I feel at home. I want that experience. It's away from that hotel structure. And so the vacation home rental is an empowering, income generating business. And it's here now. We haven't seen the beginning of it as yet.
We're not even close yet. We're touching. We're
nowhere near the peak at all.
Yeah. And those the expats who've known this for decades,
they've been doing it.
They've been doing it.
Ask them about their back house.
Yeah, always the guest house life, right? And something else to consider too, when you're talking about vacation rentals. Always, even if you don't have the home, you have the experience. So create the experience. Listen, man.
I want to give you this. This is so out the box, and I know someone who does it in the U.S., a client of mine. They do not own the properties. They lease the property.
Let me talk about that.
And they provide the Airbnb experience. And you said it, you hit the nail on the head, Nahaja. It's about the experience.
Yes.
And so when someone books with them, they don't know the back end of what's going on.
No, they don't.
They literally have paid their annual lease upfront. And just within the first 2 to 3 months of being booked, they were able to pay off. So they don't want to hold the capital asset, because when you think about maintenance and insurance and liability and all of these other things, and that's another conversation when it comes to financial advisory. But it's just to show you the creativeness that you don't have to have the brick and mortar, but you still could have the benefits of a revenue stream that is just going to blow this market up in the next couple of years. So these are the things that you have to think about. This is the way. And when your mindset is of a growth mindset, you're open to all of these possibilities of creativity. It's when you have the closed mindset that all you see is challenges all around.
Yeah. Listen, this is powerful stuff. We got to take a quick break. Before we wrap up. So let's take this break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Sugar, sugar, let's get sugary. Softer, smoother, and amazing skin. Oh, sugar, sugar, we're the sugar ladies. Giving you skin soft as a baby's. Goodbye, hair, we'll take good care of you.
Come visit us at Bahar Treat Spa on East Bay Street. Contact us at 323-6711 or visit us online at www.baharetreat.com.
You have a new text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-Bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
Do you need to insure your vehicle at the best price? With the most options and free installment payments, CG Atlantic agents offer affordable coverage for everyone. Just call 677-6422 to find out how you can protect your vehicle with extra options to keep you covered. Why wait? Call CG Atlantic agents today at 677-6422. Visit us online at cgatlanticagents.com or in person at Atlantic House, 2nd Terrace and Collins Avenue. Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
And we're back. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I've got my good friends here joining me. Now, I need, Kaylin, you need to tell me what all of those initials behind your name means. You got all of that. C-F-E-I. I feel like that was, when you go to get your eyes tested and they tell you look at the letters? That's what that is.
Also, that's just Certified Financial Education Instructor.
Oh, show off. I like it. And of course, that's Kaylin Newton here joining us from Grand Bahama. And of course, Nathaniel Butler from Drupal Solutions. All right. So some interesting points of, so I've been on this I like books thing, right? One of my other favorite books, Jack Welch, Winning, right? Yes. By Jack Welch. Winning. Management book, right? Great management book. I can't even use the talk. He was a GE winner. Why I say GE winner? He used to kill it in structural. Go ahead.
I want to add this when it comes to reading too, because your income levels is only at the level of your personal development. And so people have to also read personal development books. They have to look at how to better themselves innately, who they are, because then your revenue will rise to the level of who you are. So if you're not at a better place with yourself, obviously your mindset will believe that you're not worthy to even have that kind of revenue or income come into you. So in addition to reading all of the business books and the investment and the strategy and the money and whatever all those books are, you must also read personal development books.
Come on now. You hit it. Preach, girl, preach. I was going to show you this one. Another one of my favorite books. The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. You know, we got some some of us got some, and I say demons, I really mean you got no demons. I mean that we are fighting some issues, some childhood trauma, some things that is affecting what we believe. How do we fuel ourselves? And this book, I don't care how much joy change your face. This book ain't changing, okay? Joyce Meyer gave us a wonderful golden opportunity here with this book. I Battlefield of the Mind, one of the classics I always keep in my bookcase. First Things First, Stephen Covey.
Yeah, that too.
A really good book. And of course, you know, well, I like all my Rich Dad stuff, my Rich Dad, Poor Dad stuff, right? Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. One of his, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is huge. But Cash Flow Quadrant is one of the best books for me because it said, okay, I need to move from the left side to the right side, which is the left side is employee, self-employed. And I want to move to the right side, which is business owner and investor.
Yes.
And once you're on that side, you know you're doing it. And we've always worked, boy. I remember a moment when we realized we were self-employed. Husband and I had a mental breakdown. Like, Jesus, this is rough. We can't take a vacation.
So to that point, and going back to what Kayleen was saying, I'll be honest with you, when you read personal development, just not on the finance, not on the leadership, the whole part of personal development, because to your point, being on the self-employed standpoint, employed standpoint, even business owner standpoint, mental health is a serious thing because there's some things that only those who are in the space understand sitting in that chair, and you got to take care of your mental health. Trust me on this journey to reach that promised land. I do have a question though.
Go ahead.
I do have a question because I know the audience is probably thinking about this as well. And every book that you kind of pick up, I'm just sitting there. It's like, I got that home. I got that home. So when is the virtual book club coming out? The Nahaja Black virtual book club? Because I like where this is going.
You're right on that. I actually started a lockdown book club. But the problem is I read based on my interest. So we started off just on, like novels and whatnot. But I tend to read more of these books. So my novel option. So I think I have to switch it. I have a lockdown book club when we were all locked down, But I think I want a book club now where everybody says, this is what I'm reading this week. Here are my thoughts on it. And I'm reading something different. So we're not all having to read the same thing because we're not on the same space. So maybe we'll do that and do a hit back book club.
Let me know.
I love that concept. I really love that concept. And another thing that I got, I did the 75 hard, and it talks about doing that 10-day reading.
What's that? The
75 hard by Andy Frisella.
Ooh.
And that people think it's a physical challenge or a health challenge, but it's more so a mental challenge because there's some things you must do every day. And if you don't do it by the end of the day, you have to start the 75 days over.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of challenge. I'll try it.
There's a lot of challenges, something I won't do again. But one of the things that I did take away from it is that reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day, something that's going to pour into you and help you from a personal development standpoint.
Yeah. I have every month I try to buy 2 books and I end up reading a half a book. So I got a lot of books.
I buy more books
to do.
No, but doing that helps you because I've now transitioned to doing that, and I find myself completing more now than ever before. So I'm telling you, and it's manageable. It's very, very manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trust me, how many pages?
10 pages a day, and what to do. Unplug from all of your electronics. That's when you now settling in for bed, and you read your 10 pages, and it causes you also to wind down. And it's very quick.
Listen,
Most chapters are about 10 pages. So
every time I start them 10 pages at bedtime, Kaylin, I end up asleep. I figured now. I'll read page 6. I'll read page 6, 7 times. And I realize that's when I'm asleep. Like I did not catch that first paragraph. Someone asks, Alton asks, 75 what again? What is it? 75?
It's called 75 Hard.
Hard, H-A-R-D.
H-A-R-D, yeah.
Okay, 75 Hard Challenge. All right. We'll try that. I got to look that up.
Yeah.
Nat, you wanted to say something?
Saying there was the point I wanted to go back to, because I couldn't keep still in my chair because I'm sitting there like, I do this. Like Airbnb, I just have to say this, and I've said it on the show multiple times. From the 40s and 50s, we have been doing Airbnb. This is nothing new here in the Bahamas. We just moved away from it. And then successive governments tried to bring us as a populace back by creating the people-to-people program, but we didn't understand it. And then Airbnb itself and HomeAway came, and it's like, okay, now let's plug in. You don't have to own the asset. You could manage it and still walk away with a substantial amount of money. Think about it this way. We have more hospitality experts in this country than many of our other counterparts who relative in size to us. So that means we have a lot of persons who can run their own mini motel, hotel of sorts just by utilizing a house or a room. And as mentioned, creating a unique experience to the unique traveler who will stay with you. I talk about this on the show. I'm not afraid if anybody copies my idea. We are not too far away from setting up an Airbnb strictly for disabled people.
Yes. Come on now. Preach. How you know? Listen, man. You so smart. Oh, Lord, you so smart. Because people don't understand that is a niche market that is so underserviced.
$1 billion to the Caribbean economy. 1 billion. And if you do a search, you will discover that there are no Caribbean leaders in that space.
No.
None. Listen, how you know ramps was already getting installed, boy? Doors widened. Listen.
Make sure you get a car where it has a lift on the inside and to take the person out.
Listen to me. Look here.
I have no problem giving my ideas either. Like a lot of us believe we have to hold on to these things.
But that's that scarcity.
But
That's
it
that
goes
scarcity
back
mentality.
to the lack mentality because at the end of the day, it is still that customer experience that you bring that is going to separate you from whomever you think your competition is.
And I want to say, just let me add this too, just as a thought. If you bake, if you're an at-home baker, right? And let's say at home, you really ain't serious about it. I'm telling you, there's a market for vacation renters who want just a small Johnny. I just want a sample of the coconut tart, a sample of the Benny cake, a sample of X, Y, and Z. So put it on a platter and you go ahead and you put it out there. Vacation homeowners desserts delights. You're a homeowner and you want to, I specifically cater to welcome platters for your guests. I specifically cater so that you could build a basket. You tell them, say, listen, I can give you a personalized box. Go on my website, put the items in the box. And there you go. It will be delivered to your Airbnb, X, Y, and Z time. Homeowners are looking for this type of convenience.
It's all about ease.
That's it. And I'll tell you, I had to shop for that. I had to shop from one person here. Do you have this? So there's opportunities here that that are beyond. And so we have to just, no gifting of yours is invaluable. You just know that it's valuable and trust that your gift will make room for you. You just have to believe that what you're good at is for a purpose and that it is usable and believe that there's no scarcity in money. There's no scarcity in the world. None. Okay, we gotta go. Someone says tease. You best believe it. Oh, those tea boxes, y'all got to be unique, boy. Oh,
I want to give a quick business. You talked about baking cakes, and I know someone who made hundreds of thousands of dollars on a course teaching other bakers how to use the fondant and put it on the cake and smooth it out. And literally, she purchases her fondant already developed.
Wow.
Literally, and in her first course, she made over $100,000 a couple of months ago.
Stop that. What?
Yeah, this is in the U.S., but it wasn't anything complicated, but a lot of people want to learn how to smooth that out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she didn't tell them who her distributor was, but she gave them every step possible. And then she became an affiliate of the product and also made money from being an affiliate of the product and selling it.
Wow. Listen, I tell you, and we limit ourselves to the Bahamas. The world is our oyster. And that is the thing too. There is nothing you don't want to know. Everything you need to know about your success is on those same keyboard or in your hand. Go on and search it. And I mean, my husband studies on YouTube all the time. I mean, it's very annoying when I want to watch football and he is on YouTube, just going on. Kayleen Newton, how do folks reach you guys? Kayleen, first, how do folks reach you?
They can contact me through my website. It's www.kayleenNewton.com.
And Nathaniel?
www.drubersolutions.com.
Listen, thank you guys so much. We continue next week, Wealthy Wednesday. Thank you, Nat and Kayleen. You're the best. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. I hope this was as helpful for you as it normally is for me. Take care, everybody. Let's get to that millionaire mindset. We ain't playing games this lap. We're doing it. See you all tomorrow. We're out.